Songezo Zibi, though, joins us this evening. Good evening, Mr. Zibi. Thank you very much for joining us. Firstly, congratulations on your unopposed election as SCOPA chair. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much for having me on, and thanks for the congratulations. This is a really big task, so I do not take it lightly. I am nervous, but I am determined at the same time to make sure that South Africans get the kind of accountability from government that they deserve.
Mm-hmm. You indeed state that it's an incredible task. You head a very important committee, a committee that ensures the public is accounted for, at least the public purse is accounted for. What do you plan to bring to this role?
So I think the more important thing is to treat the work of the committee very, very seriously, because I think on the occasions that Parliament has failed, I think it has been because Parliament has failed to take the mandate that the Constitution that allocates to Parliament really seriously. The second thing is to do the work with diligence and professionalism, because I think that's also important, so that the quality of the work that we do is important. The third is to build collegiality within the committee, because all the committee members are important. Mm-hmm. They have as much of a responsibility as myself to make sure that the people get the kind of accountability they deserve. So those three things in terms of the work of the committee are important. But then as far as public accountability for the public purse, it is not only making sure that wrongdoing is exposed, it's also helping to build a culture of care and respect for public finances, so that in years to come, SCOPA becomes a very boring committee because nothing interesting comes out of there.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you touched on collegiality among the members, because we saw the EFF raise an objection not to you as an individual, but objection to what they say is a deviation from the norm of having a member of opposition heading SCOPA. And they said that this is because your party, Rise Mzansi, is now part of the GNU, so essentially they would view your party as that of government. But you say you're committed to ensuring this collegiality across the board.
Yes, and I think Honourable Mente from the EFF also made it clear this is out of principle, out of their interpretation of our role in the government of national unity. We are not in cabinet. There's not a single person from Rise Mzansi who's in cabinet or who is a deputy minister, because deputy ministers are not members of cabinet. All our work is exclusively in Parliament. We caucus with all other parties, which are the smaller parties in Parliament. We don't caucus with the ANC. We don't caucus with the Democratic Alliance, which are some of the two biggest political parties. I also wish to remind South Africans that having a chairperson of SCOPA who is part of a coalition such as what the GNU is not new. One of the most famous chairpersons of SCOPA was Gavin Woods, of the Inkatha Freedom Party. At the time that he was SCOPA chair and they were investigating the arms deal, Chief Mangosuthu Buthelezi was the Minister of Home Affairs, if you remember. Andrew Feinstein and Lalu Chiba were members of the ANC. What really matters is the seriousness that members of the committee take their work and the respect they have for the Constitution. If you have those two things, SCOPA will succeed.
Songezo, thank you very much for your time and good luck in your new role as chair of SCOPA.